Hello, this is Ashton Ekbatani, and you are thinking of making a move to Oakville? That's a great news. Now, in this episode, I would cover the cost of living in Oakville for either renting a house or buying a house. So, if you're thinking of making a move, listen to the rest of this episode. Don't forget to click on subscription to this channel and make a like. And if you want to contact me, feel free to call me at 647-407-4049. You can email me or you can WhatsApp me. Doesn't matter what way. You can grab the phone and give me a call, and I'm glad to help you with your questions. Let's go. Hello and welcome to this episode for either buying a house or renting a house. Now, let me cover the rental part of it because it's much faster and easier. If you're coming to Oakville, you're looking for properties, depending on the number of people living with you. Let's say it's a family of 4, husband, wife, and 2 kids. Then you need a house of 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms. Now you have the choice of going to a home or going to a condominium apartment. What I don't recommend you is to rent a basement. The winter in Canada is hard. Staying in a basement with family is a little bit depressing. So you come up and live on the main floor or second floor, or go to a condominium. Make sure you get sunlight and you have a nice view. So that would be the preferred option. Now, the first step before you even consider what direction to go and what properties to find is to prepare your documents. The documents we need here, I'm going to give you a list of it, and I expect you to prepare them, because once you you see a house, you like it, you want to go to the next step, then you have to have these documents prepared. So number one is the letter of employment. The landlord wants to know where you're working, how much you're making, and how long you've been living working there. So that's very important. If you don't have a job, then how a landlord can make sure you pay at the end of the month. So that's a question. So prepare your letter of employment, shows where you work. We also need a credit report. So in Canada, very much the things are evaluated based on your credit, and credit report and credit score means you are good with your finances, you have money in your bank account, and many people that you purchase from them, they have a good relationship and good commitment in terms of handling money. So that's very, very important, and everybody would ask for that. You need a letter of reference, friends or employees that you work with in the past. Anyone can give you a reference, letter of reference. That would definitely help. You need a rental application where you have your information, the car you're driving, where you're coming from, number of people living with you, do you have a pet, and so on. And then once everything is good, we need to prepare what we call a lease agreement. These are the things done by a real estate agent for you, so you shouldn't be worried about preparing a lease agreement. All you have to do is just fill up the empty spot by the real estate agent, and then you sign it. Terms and conditions. For instance, you're renting this place for 1 year. That's one of the questions they're going to ask you. So you also need a bank statement. Depends where you're coming from. If you've been in Canada for a long time, you have no problem, you make a lot of money, then bank statement is a good backup for you. So we cover the letter of employment, bank statement, credit report, and credit score. You can get your credit report from different credit bureau in Canada, such as Equifax. You can go online and get it. I think it's either free or there's a minimal charge to that. You need to come up with your first and last month. For instance, if your rent is $3,000 a month, then you have to have $6,000 as a deposit before you move into your new place. Letter of reference, rent application, and lease agreement. These are the information you need. And then once you have all this information prepared, then you can start hunting for your condo or for your house for your family. This is the process of 1 day or 2 days maximum. Then you find your place. In terms of rental, what depends what you're looking for. In Oakville right now in 2021, we are talking about 2 bedrooms around 2,800, 3,200 price range. This amount, this rent varies depending to how far you go in Oakville, not necessarily. If you go to other cities close to Oakville, it doesn't really change much, maybe $50 less and more, such as if you go to Burlington, you go north to Milton, or you go to Mississauga, this number is not changing very much. Many people, they like to stay in Oakville because of the good schooling they have for the kids, and the structure of the city is not busy as any other cities around it. So these are the things you need for rent. Now let's go to purchasing a property. That's a totally different story. Now, in that case, it's not the landlord you're dealing with, it's the bank. So you have to go through certain criteria to make sure your situation is acceptable by the banks, and they would give you a mortgage to buy a house. Unless you want to buy a house cash, that's a different story. Price range 2021 in Oakville, we're talking about anywhere, depends what you buy, a condo or a house. You can find something around $850. Price range goes all the way to any number you like. We have properties in Oakville that cost $25 million. So I'm not sure what direction you want. For sure, you're going to give me a call if you want to buy that kind of properties. So in the next episode, I asked one of my callers, her name is Kim. She's an expert in financing, and she can definitely help you with your mortgage. She is going to explain to you exactly what you need if you're thinking towards that direction of buying, or if you want to rent for a year and then move to a house. At least that would give you some preparations to go towards. So listen to what Kim has to say if you're interested in buying a house eventually in Canada, and she can definitely give you a call and help you. I'm going to put her number in this description of this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to help you understanding what's going on with Oakville or even the cities around it, doesn't matter, and help you to move into Oakville, get you settled. I can help you to connect to different things in Oakville if you are new here. So listen to what Kim has to say. If you're really interested to purchase a house, you go through the same process that Kim is going to mention that, and you give me a call and I can help you here by all means. So here's Kim.
Today we're going to talk about the New to Canada program. Let's say you are moving to Oakville and you want to buy a home. I'm going to share with you what a sample application could look like. So in Oakville, when I spoke to my realtor friend Ashton, he mentioned that probably you could buy a place in Oakville for $900,000. Applications are driven by the down payment, the income, the credit, and the property. Let's talk about down payment. In Canada, there are 3 mortgage default insurers, and I'm going to take you to each of their websites. They require 5% of the first 500 and then 10% of any amount over 500 to a maximum of $1 million, just under $1 million. So literally 999,999 is your maximum purchase price currently. Perhaps the government will change that. So for a $900,000 purchase, your minimum down payment would be $65,000. Then the lender will loan you the amount for the mortgage default insurance on top of what you need to buy the home. So in this case, it would be $33,000. So your total mortgage would be $868,400. How do you qualify for a mortgage of $868,400? You have to have the income. In this case, you would need $15,000 a month in income to make these ratios work. So the cost of carrying the home divided by the income has to be under 39. And if you have any other debt, that will be added as well. In this case, I didn't put any in, but if you did, this number has to be under 44. I'm going to take you to the 3 new to Canada programs, because besides income, the other problem can be, interesting. Credit. When you're first getting to Canada, you haven't built up your credit profile here. So we're going to talk about, here's Canada Guarantees program. You can go to Maple Leaf Advantage, new to Canada, and they will give you all the details to talk about how you can qualify for a purchase. And how they can, this is how they will determine your credit. So if they can get an international credit bureau. So TransUnion and Equifax are what we use in Canada, but they are an international, they're both international companies. So if you have the same bureau in your country of origin, that can be very helpful. Now, this loan to value is when you're doing the minimum down payment. They need to see the International Credit Bureau, or they need to see 12 months of rental payment history or utilities. So you can go through this and see, you can contact me. I can help you understand what they're saying here. But a big issue is establishing the credit. So, okay, now let me take you to the next one. This is the other mortgage default insurer in Canada. And they also have a new to Canada program. There we go. And they'll explain the eligibility, having a valid work permit or permanent residency, and having a minimum of 3 months full-time employment. Those transferred under a corporate relocation program are exempt. So if you're working for a big multinational and you're being transferred, then that 3 months can be waived. And then you can get into more of the details here if you click on this. The other big mortgage default insurer in Canada is CMHC. Let's do CMHC new to Canada. And the programs are all very, very similar. And they have a category for permanent residents, non-permanent residents. So you can go through and get an idea. So it's a great overview. The mistakes that I've seen people make, and this is across the board, but let's talk about new Canadians. Often, you come here, you develop credit quickly, you've got a great job, a lot of people working in IT, and then you go and get a big brand new car. And now you have an $800 a month car payment, which is no problem for you, but it's going to really hurt you when you go to buy a home, because let's look at an example. So in this example, let's add an $800 a month car payment. So that's income. Where's liabilities? Here we go. Oh, that's okay. So that one isn't in the ratio, so I'm just going to add one. Okay, in this case, you could squeak through if you have no other debt whatsoever, because this number has to be under 44. So let's say you get a $900 car payment, which isn't hard to do. They love selling cars. Now you're over 44, and now you would have to reduce the amount that you are going to purchase. So let's see how much you would have to reduce the amount you were going to purchase. Let's say we'll make it $880 now. Keep the down payment the same, just to keep it simple. Okay, so maybe we can get up to $890. Okay, so that $100 a month car extra, going from $800 to $900, reduces your purchasing power by $10,000. So you really got to be careful what debt you take on. Also, when you get here, if you have kids, make sure you apply for the Canada Child Benefit. For some reason, some people don't know that. And I had a client who was able to get it and also get back paid just because he just didn't know about it. So that can help. You know, even a couple hundred a month can make a difference in income. So let me just add in some income here and show you. Let's see, $200 a month. You see how it changes the ratios, and it's not hard to get $200 a month for your kids, even if you have a pretty good income. And the other mistake is if one is the big income earner and one isn't, even the non-big income earner should still develop credit. They often don't, and they should, even if they're home with the kids. They need to start developing their credit profile. So secured credit cards, if you can't, I know at one time, I used to work for TD. TD had $1,000 a month for or $1,000 credit limit for new Canadians. You can just walk in and get it. You really got to start building your credit quickly, but also, you know, like maybe, you know, the cell phones. Actually, I think in this fact sheet with CMHC, they give you a lot of detail of the different. Okay, this here. Let me just expand that. Alternative sources of credit can include rent, room or board, financial obligations, or documented regular savings preceding 12 months. That's pretty interesting. Confirmation of rent payments not available. They can provide 3 other types of obligations over the last 12 months, including but not limited to utilities, cable, childcare expenses, insurance premiums, or documented regular savings. So just make sure that whatever obligations or accounts that you're setting up, that you do it for both of you, not just the one, because the other one needs to develop credit as well, because if they're getting the Canada Child Benefit, because usually the lower income spouse gets the Canada Child Benefit. So even that $200 a month can be used if they've established credit. So make sure you're both establishing credit. The other thing is get your money into Canada. I've had clients trying to bring money from Pakistan, and it's taken them forever. I don't know what's going on with that, if it's just their specific thing or if it's just the complex way things work. Mexico is another one where people have had a hard time getting money. Brazil seems to be pretty quick. UK, I've had no problems. So I don't know. I haven't had to move money internationally, so I don't know. But I would definitely make good connections with your institutions in your home origin and connections in Canada, and figure out how you can get the money transferred quickly. So I hope that's helpful. The way I work is, if you do an application with me and you send me all the documents I asked for, I will work really hard for you to try to get the best pre-approval in place and get you ready to be able to purchase with confidence. Thanks for joining.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Give me a call at 647-407-4049, or you can text me, you can call me, or you can email me your questions, and I'm always here to help you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and hope to see you.